Welcome back, Bowling World fans. Today we're going to answer a question that we get asked very often across all of our shops, as well as multiple times online, and that is how to choose protection tapes. Now there's several different kinds of protection tapes, from different colors to thicknesses to sizes when it comes to the width and the length, as well as all the different brands that are out there. Now, this is not only something that we see very often in multiple of our shops, we also see this question asked a lot across multiple of the videos that you guys have seen here on YouTube, as well as any of the other platforms that we might put content out onto. Now, there is one key thing that you have to understand. There's two different kinds of tape that you can use to be able to make the fit tighter or also create a different release point. There's thumb insert tape and there's also protection tape. Today we're just covering the protection tape, so we're not gonna go over any of the other types of fitting tape or insert tape that you might see online. This is gonna be tapes that specifically go on your hand in some shape or form, whether that's on your thumb, a finger, or on your palm in some sort of way. That's what we're gonna be covering today, and we're gonna cover more specifically the Vise Hada patch line, the Vise logo tape line. Okay, so first of all, we are gonna talk about the Vise Hada patch line. Now, the Vise Hada patch line obviously has 5 different types of tape. Now, these tapes are not only gonna be different thicknesses, but they're also gonna be different release points. So first of all, we're gonna talk about the Hada Patch 1 Blue. Now, the Hada Patch 1 Blue is not only the quickest release tape that the Hada patch line has, but it's also the thickest. So whenever you're thinking about this tape, think about the fastest release with the thickest amount of fitting. Next up on the list is going to be the Hada Patch 1A Orange. The one thing you have to understand about the Hada Patch 1A Orange is that it is the quick to medium release point, and it's actually slightly thinner than the blue. Again, that's going to be kind of like that thick to medium size. It's going to be in between those two steps. Next up on the list is the Hada Patch 2 Red. Now, the Hada Patch 2 Red is gonna be the middle of the ground whenever it comes to all the different tapes in this line. So it's gonna be the medium amount of thickness with the medium amount of release. So between the fastest and the slowest point, it's gonna be in the middle of the whole range, as well as thickness-wise is gonna be in the middle of the whole range. If you feel like one is too thin, or one is too thick, or one is too fast and one is too slow, this is gonna be what you're gonna wanna go looking for at your Bowling World location. Next up on the list is gonna be number 3 Aqua. Now, what you need to know about Aqua number 3 is gonna be the medium to thin when it comes to the actual fitting of it, and it's gonna be the medium to slow release point of all the different tapes. So this is just below the very slowest release point. So if you wanted something that's not as slow as the very bottom of the barrel, this is gonna be what you wanna get. Now, last but not least, we have Hada Patch 4 Gray. Now, the thing that you want to know about Hada Patch 4 Gray, it's pretty simple. It's going to be the absolute thinnest of the whole entire Hada patch line, and it's going to have the slowest release point in the whole entire line. Next up on the list, we're going to talk about the Vise logo tapes, which is the slowest release tapes that Vise has created here recently. They just released these this year, and if you want to see more about them outside of this video, we did do a video previously. You can go ahead and check that out right there in the info card. But the logo tapes are basically going to be the next slowest steps outside of the gray number 4 in the Hada patch line. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. Now, this right here is the Vise logo tape. We have Vise logo tape 1, 2, and 3. Now, obviously, it's black, orange, and yellow. Now, when it comes to the Vise logo tapes, we're gonna work our way from the fastest release point to the slowest release point. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because the fastest release point is actually gonna be slower than the gray from the Hada patch line. So, to start off with, we have Vise logo tape number 3 in yellow. Now, the Vise logo tape 3 in yellow is gonna be the same thickness as the 2, and this is gonna be the same thing across all 3 Vise logo tapes. Every single one of them are gonna be in the same thickness as the number 2, so keep that in mind whenever you're looking at all 3 of these options. All of them are gonna be the exact same thicknesses with different release points. Now, number 3 is gonna be the quickest, but it's still gonna be slower than the Hada patch number 4, so keep that in mind. This is gonna be the fastest but slowest when it comes down to it. Next up on the list, we have Vise logo tape number 2 in orange. Now, the Vise logo tape 2 in orange is gonna be the medium ground when it comes to the logo tapes. It's gonna be slower than the yellow when it comes to the release point. And again, we're still seeing that same thickness that we see in the Hada patch number 2. Now, last but not least, we have the Vise logo tape 1 in black. Now, what you want to know about the Vise logo tape 1 in black, it's still sitting in that same thickness, so it's going to be the same thickness that the number 2 Hada patch line has. but this is gonna be the absolute slowest release that you see out of all three logo tapes. So if we had to categorize them in a scale, we're gonna end at Hada patch number 4 in gray, and we're gonna work our way to yellow, then the orange, then the black. So it's gonna go 4, 3, 2, and then 1. So keep that in mind whenever you're looking around in Bowling World locations for this stuff, and whenever you're looking at the wall and trying to figure out what might suit you best. So that is a look to the Vise Hada patch line, as well as the Vise logo tape line, and how they work when it comes to choosing the perfect thickness versus release point whenever it comes down to it. So you might have to play around a little bit with it. You'll have to experiment and try all the different types of ones if you really have a particular feel that you're looking for when it comes to not only the release point, but as well you're looking for that perfect fit when it comes to the size of your thumb hole plus the size of your actual thumb. So if you guys had any more question about that, make sure you drop it down below in the comment section. And let me know if you have a particular tape that you're using now and you feel like it might not be the best thing. We might be able to answer that here in the comments section. Or you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram and shoot me a direct message over on that platform. I usually answer to those pretty quickly as well. So if you had to go through another outlet, make sure you go down below, follow me on Instagram, or follow the Bowling World page and ask the Bowling World page, because I also will be checking those messages as well. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and set you guys up in an angle where you guys can see my hands, and I'm gonna go ahead and try this tape on. That way you guys can see how I would apply it to certain areas. I'm gonna show you the back of the thumb, the front of the thumb, and the back of my finger. Now, the reason why I'm gonna show you all 3 of those points is because those are the 3 most used points when it comes to using these protection tapes. This is gonna be the 2 different things that you're gonna need whenever using thumb protection tape. Obviously, you're gonna need a package of thumb protection tape, whether that is the Vise logo tape or the Hada patch. That is completely up to you. But I will also recommend either lens wipes or alcohol wipes just in general. Any alcohol wipe will be really, really good while you're doing this, because you can easily pack these in a bowling bag and be able to clean off whatever area you're gonna apply these to. Now, I'm gonna use lens wipes because I have these for my glasses and all my lenses for the camera. So let's go ahead and open this up first. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and pull this out, and pretty simple. We're gonna go ahead and rub off my middle finger some as well as my thumb. So I'm gonna just take it, make sure I really, really get in there and rub off my thumb and let it air dry ever so slightly. And we're gonna rub the area around my finger to make sure that is nice and clean. We're gonna just take this, we're gonna toss it over to the side and just kind of give that a couple seconds to dry off. Next up on the list, we're gonna go ahead and open this up. We're gonna take out our 1 strip here that we have already taken aside. We're gonna peel that off. And then what I normally tell people to do with this is pretty simple. You're gonna grab this and you're gonna anchor it to the tip of your thumb, just like so. And then you want to pull and stretch it as you're applying it. Now, the reason why you want to pull and stretch it as you apply it is that way the adhesive can expand and then contract back onto your skin. Now, the reason you do that is so it's a lot tighter of a fit, as well as a better adhesion overall. So you can see how that's nicely attached to my thumb. It doesn't look like it's gonna peel up any, and I could literally bend my thumb in any possible direction, and it's not lifting up in any certain spots. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and do that to this side of my thumb as well, so you guys can see that. So we're gonna go ahead and take one of these pieces off of here, just like we did before, and we are going to anchor it to the tip of our thumb, and then again, we're gonna pull and put down the center piece of it, and just pat down those sides once again. And there you go. There's another way that you can put the thumb protection tape on. Nice and simple. That way you can cover this area of your thumb. This part right here of your thumb is normally the area that gets a lot of wear and tear and gets a lot of sensitivity to it. So this will be really good for this area of your thumb if you have those problems. All right, and last but not least, we're gonna take one more piece and we're gonna cover the back of our finger. Now, this is gonna protect your cuticles from getting destroyed, as well as if you put your fingers a little deeper, it'll cover this part of your finger where most people end up getting tears and blisters. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on right at the tip of my finger, right at the nail. I'm gonna pull and push down the center of it, and then I'm just gonna push down the sides nice and gently to make sure that it's fully adhered on the top of my finger. So there's 3 different ways. We have the back of my finger covered, and that's protecting my cuticle and this part of my finger right here in the center section of my finger. Then we have the inside of my thumb. Now this is coming up ever so slightly because of the fact that I haven't cleaned off that area of my thumb, so don't worry about that. And then we have the back side of my thumb, which is adhering perfectly. So there's a couple different ways that you can use protection tape. Make sure you guys keep that in mind whenever you guys are putting these on yourselves. All right, Bowling World fans, so this is my ultimate guide on how to choose protection tapes. Once again, if you guys want to find any of the products that I put in this video, make sure you guys go down into the link in the descriptions. That will give you all the different tapes that I have talked about on this video. And if you had any questions, once again, drop them down in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. And make sure you guys turn on those post notifications. If you want to find anything else that you might want to be looking for here in the next couple weeks, make sure you guys go to bowlingworld.biz. And as always, I will talk to you guys later. Peace out. Woo!